Introduction dreams are one of the greatest mysteries of the human mind. Every night, when we drift into sleep, our brain shifts into a state of extraordinary activity. Some of that activity takes the shape of dreams, sometimes vivid, emotional, even bizarre, and yet, by morning, many of them fade into fragments or disappear entirely. But here's the burning question. Why do we dream at all? Are dreams simply random nonsense? Or do they serve a deeper psychological, neurological, or even evolutionary purpose? Scientists, psychologists, and philosophers have been debating this question for centuries. Ancient cultures believed dreams were messages from the gods. Sigmund Freud thought they revealed hidden desires from the unconscious. Today, neuroscientists and advanced tools like EEG scans and fMRI machines allowing us to peer inside the dreaming brain. But even with modern science, the mystery isn't fully solved. What we do know is that there are several competing theories, each supported by fascinating evidence. Some suggest dreams help us process memories. Others say dreams regulate emotions. Evolutionary psychologists argue dreams prepare us for survival. And then there are theories claiming dreams may not have a purpose at all. They're just a side effect of brain activity. In this script, we'll break down 8 major psychological and scientific explanations of why we dream. Each one offers a different lens into the strange theater of the mind we enter every night. By the end, you'll see that dreams aren't just nighttime stories. They're a window into how the human brain works. 1. Dreams help consolidate memory. One of the strongest scientific theories about dreams is that they play a role in memory consolidation. Every day, our brains are bombarded with new information. Conversations, experiences, lessons, emotions, sights, sounds, and even random details. To function properly, we need a way to sift through all this input, deciding what's important enough to remember and what can be discarded. This is where dreaming may come into play. During REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep, the stage where most vivid dreaming occurs, brain activity spikes. Research shows that the hippocampus, our brain's memory hub, communicates actively with the neocortex. It's like the brain is uploading short-term memories into long-term storage. Dreams, in this view, are part of that process. The mind is replaying, reorganizing, and even reshuffling memories to make them stick. Have you ever noticed that studying right before bed makes it easier to recall information the next day? Or that pulling an all-nighter leaves your memory fuzzy? That's because without REM sleep and its associated dreaming, memory formation is disrupted. Experiments show that people deprived of REM sleep perform worse on learning and problem-solving tasks. Dreams might not only solidify important memories, but also integrate them with old ones, creating new associations. For example, if you're learning a new language, dreams might replay words in novel contexts, strengthening your recall. So, in this view, dreaming isn't meaningless. It's an essential part of how the brain processes and remembers the story of your life. Point 2. Dreams regulate emotions. 250 words. Another powerful explanation is that dreams function as emotional regulation therapy. Our waking lives are full of stress, joy, fear, frustration, and excitement. If we never process those feelings, we'd be emotionally overwhelmed. Dreaming may provide a safe, controlled environment where our brain revisits emotional events, but in a calmer state. During REM sleep, emotional centers like the amygdala remain highly active, while the prefrontal cortex, the rational, logical judge of the brain, takes a step back. This combination allows us to re-experience strong emotions, but without the same intensity we feel during the day. It's like replaying the emotional tape, but turning the volume down. For example, let's say you had an argument with a friend. That night, you might dream of a different conflict, maybe not even with the same person, but the emotional tone is similar. In this way, your brain is working through feelings of anger, hurt, or anxiety without waking consequences. Psychologists like Rosalind Cartwright have shown that people going through heartbreak often dream about their exes, but over time, the emotional charge in those dreams diminishes. It's as if the brain is detoxifying painful emotions. This theory also explains why nightmares can be common after trauma. The brain keeps replaying the event in an attempt to process it. Over time, dreams may help reduce emotional intensity, but when trauma is severe, nightmares can become stuck in a loop. That's where therapies like lucid dreaming and dream rehearsal come into play. 3. Dreams as threat rehearsal. From an evolutionary perspective, some scientists believe dreams evolved as a form of threat rehearsal, a mental training ground for survival. Imagine our prehistoric ancestors living in dangerous environments filled with predators, natural disasters, and rival tribes. Being prepared for threats could mean the difference between life and death. Dreams, in this theory, provided a way to simulate those dangers safely. The threat simulation theory, proposed by researcher Antti Revonsuo, suggests that dreams are like a virtual reality built by the brain. When you dream about being chased, falling, or fighting, your brain is practicing survival responses: fight, flight, or problem solving without real-world risk. Over generations, this may have given humans an adaptive advantage. Those whose brains rehearse threats during sleep may have reacted faster in waking life, increasing survival chances. Even today, many common dream themes involve danger: being chased, attacked, falling, or being unprepared. These could be remnants of ancient survival training programs. Think of it like a mental rehearsal where you're building resilience and sharpening instincts. Interestingly, studies of children's dreams show that they often contain more threats than adults' dreams, supporting the idea that the brain uses early development to practice survival skills. While modern humans don't face saber-toothed tigers anymore, the same mechanism may apply to social threats, exams, or public speaking. Dreams, then, are not random nonsense. They may be our brain's evolutionary gym, training us to stay alive in an unpredictable world. 4. Dreams as random brain activity, activation synthesis. Not all scientists believe dreams have deep meaning. The activation synthesis model, proposed by researchers Alan Hobson and Robert McCarley, argues that dreams are essentially the brain's attempt to make sense of random neural firing during REM sleep. Here's how it works. During REM, the brainstem generates random signals. These signals travel to the cortex, the part of the brain responsible for thought, language, and imagery. The cortex, being a pattern-seeking machine, tries to weave these random signals into a coherent narrative. The result? A dream. This explains why dreams often feel bizarre or nonsensical. One moment you're at school, the next you're flying through space with your childhood pet. The brain is stitching together unrelated signals into a story, even if the story doesn't follow logic. Supporters of this theory point out that brain scans show high levels of random activity in REM, and the areas activated include those related to vision and emotion. That's why dreams are so vivid and emotionally charged. According to this view, dreams don't have an intrinsic purpose. They're more like byproducts of the sleeping brain's electrical storms. Still, even if dreams are random, they might still reflect our inner world. Since the cortex uses memories, emotions, and experiences as raw material, the randomness is drawn from our own lives. So, while this theory downplays meaning, it doesn't erase the fact that dreams still mirror what matters to us subconsciously. 5. Dreams preserve visual processing. A newer and fascinating idea is called the defensive activation theory, proposed by psychiatrist David Eagleman. This theory suggests dreams exist to preserve our visual cortex, the part of the brain responsible for sight. Here's the problem. The brain is constantly adapting. If a region isn't used, other senses or functions can start to invade that neural territory. For example, Blind individuals often experience their visual cortex repurposed for touch or hearing. Evolutionarily, humans spend long periods in darkness every night. If our visual cortex stayed inactive too long, it might start to weaken or get taken over. Dreaming, in this theory, is the brain's way of keeping the visual system active during the night. REM sleep provides bursts of stimulation that light up the visual cortex, preventing other senses from stealing its territory. That's why dreams are overwhelmingly visual, filled with images, colors, and movement, even if you don't always remember them. This also explains why REM sleep is especially prominent in infants and children, whose brains are highly plastic. Their developing visual systems need extra stimulation to lock in functionality. As we age, REM sleep decreases, aligning with the reduced plasticity of the visual cortex. So, in this theory, dreams aren't about memory or emotion at all. They're a neurological safeguard. They're like nightly exercise for the eyes and brain, ensuring that when we wake up, our vision is sharp and ready to guide us through the world. 6. Dreams boost creativity and problem-solving. Dreams can also be seen as a playground for creativity and problem-solving. In waking life, our thinking is constrained by logic, rules, and social norms. But when we dream, the brain operates differently. The logical prefrontal cortex steps aside, while the associative and imaginative parts light up. This opens a space where ideas can flow freely, unbound by waking restrictions. History is full of examples where dreams inspired breakthroughs. Paul McCartney said the melody of Yesterday came to him in a dream. The chemist August Kikule dreamed of a snake biting its own tail, which helped him visualize the circular structure of the benzene molecule. Writers, artists, and inventors have long drawn from the dream world for inspiration. Dreams often take fragments of our waking life and recombine them in strange ways. That randomness can spark innovative connections. Imagine you're stuck on a problem. Your brain may continue working on it in the background while you sleep. In dreams, pieces of the puzzle rearrange, sometimes leading to a eureka moment upon waking. Studies support this. People who nap and dream about a task often perform better on it later. This suggests that dreams provide a unique cognitive workshop where creativity thrives. So if you've ever woken up with a new idea, don't dismiss it as random. Your dreaming brain may have just done some overnight problem solving, giving you insights you couldn't reach while awake. 7. Dreams as symbols of the unconscious. Beyond science, psychology also offers a symbolic interpretation of dreams. Sigmund Freud famously called dreams the royal road to the unconscious, believing they revealed hidden wishes and desires disguised in symbolic form. While Freud's ideas about dream symbols have been criticized, the notion that dreams reflect our inner psyche remains influential. Carl Jung expanded this idea, arguing that dreams connect us not only to personal experiences, but also to the collective unconscious, a reservoir of shared human symbols and archetypes. For example, dreaming about a journey might symbolize personal growth, while dreaming about shadows could represent hidden fears. From this perspective, dreams aren't random or meaningless. They're coded messages from the deeper layers of the mind. The challenge lies in interpreting them, not through a dream dictionary, but by understanding the context of the dreamer's life. The same image may mean something entirely different for two people, depending on their emotions, struggles, and history. Psychotherapists sometimes use dream analysis to help clients uncover unresolved conflicts or desires. For example, dreaming about being lost might symbolize feeling directionless in life. A dream of flying could represent freedom or a wish to escape responsibilities. While modern neuroscience may view this as metaphorical rather than literal, many people still find personal value in exploring dream symbols. Whether or not they reveal hidden truths, dreams undeniably reflect the emotional and psychological themes that matter most to us. 8. Dreams might have no purpose. Finally, we come to the most skeptical perspective. What if dreams serve no real function at all? Some scientists argue that dreams are simply epiphenomena byproducts of the sleeping brain, much like the steam that whistles from a boiling kettle. The brain is active during sleep. Neurons fire, and consciousness stitches these signals into dream narratives. But the dreams themselves may not do anything important. This view challenges our desire to assign meaning to everything. Humans are natural storytellers. We don't like randomness. When we wake from a dream, our instinct is to analyze it. What did it mean? Was it a sign? But according to the epiphenomenon theory, we may just be over-interpreting noise. Supporters argue that even if dreaming vanished tomorrow, memory, emotion, and survival functions could still operate through sleep itself. After all, non-dreaming animals also benefit from sleep. So maybe dreaming is just an accidental side effect of having a big, complex brain that stays active at night. Still, even if dreams have no biological function, that doesn't mean they're useless. They can still inspire art, offer emotional insights, or simply entertain us. Whether or not they evolved for a purpose, they're an inescapable part of being human. So in the end, this view reminds us, sometimes mystery itself is the point. Maybe dreams don't need a grand function to matter. They matter because they remind us of the incredible complexity and strangeness of our own minds. Conclusion: so, why do we dream? As we've explored, there isn't just one answer. There are many possibilities. Dreams might help us consolidate memories, strengthening the stories of our lives. They might regulate emotions, acting as therapy for the brain. They could be evolutionary training grounds, rehearsing threats before they happen. Or maybe they're simply the brain's attempt to make sense of random signals during sleep. Other theories highlight that dreams preserve the visual system, boost creativity, and even offer symbolic messages from our unconscious. And finally, some argue they might not serve any real purpose at all, just fascinating byproducts of an active, complex brain. What's clear is that dreams are more than just background noise. Whether they're rehearsing, processing, protecting, or simply playing, they reveal how active and mysterious the brain truly is. They remind us that the line between waking and sleeping life isn't as clear as we think. Both worlds shape who we are. Next time you wake from a strange dream, whether it's flying through the sky, reliving a childhood memory, or being chased by something terrifying, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, was my brain storing a memory? Calming my emotions? Training me for survival? Or just spinning a random story out of neural sparks? Whatever the answer, dreams remain a fascinating mirror of the human mind. And perhaps that's the greatest purpose of all. They remind us that the mind is still full of mysteries waiting to be explored.